Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Easter weekend. Hey, as you can tell, I'm joined again after so many years by the beautiful Melly and her wonderful sidekick Sis. So they're both here for the video today. I've decided to just hang out with them for this. The little girl's still around. Sit down, Melly. All right. So it's Easter Thursday for some. We've already had one game today where Collingwood got their first win of the season, defeating Brisbane 92-72 in that game. So a few of us had some players in there. We'll go through all those now from the beginning and look at this week's matchup. So we'll start with this week with the top of the table clash. It's Second Destroyer playing Maltese Falcons. Projections for this game: Maltese Falcons projection is 314. Is there someone missing there? And it's 314. Am I missing? Oh yeah, that's right. There's Tom Green missing a couple, and there's a couple of buys in there. That's probably why. And Second Destroy projected is 405. Their pre-match projection. So let's have a look at it now. Maltese Falcons had Nick Dacos as the interchange in this one, and Nick Dacos probably halfback 60. Midfield 58, follower 54. So they're probably the three positions more than likely will be taken for that one. Had 30 possessions in this game. And Seek and Destroy had in this game Joe Danaher, who was down by 60%, and Darcy Cameron, who was down by 47%. So they got 21 and 18 for those ones there. That's why scores dropped by about 50 points in that one. Other people in that game, well, Chris was the sub, so he didn't play that well. And Mason Cox, well, he's just a backup ruck, as we know. And for Second Destroy, had no one else in that game there. If we have a look at the rest of the squads, it's a miss, full forward playing tomorrow night against Logan McDonald. Harry McCoy up against North. Chad Danaher has already done 21. It's Chad Warner at utility against Darcy Parish playing his first game of the season. So Darcy Parish's average projection is from last year. And never in the ruck against Geelong, so probably should get enough hitouts if he's selected. As we remember, the Geelong and Hawthorn games teams have not been selected yet. Ned Reeves wasn't great last week, so we'll see if he stays in the team. Darcy Cameron down by 47%. I can't read it. Eyes are bad, can't see that far. And then in the midfield, we've got Burton and Oliver, Redmond and Brayshaw. And then Cripps at tackler against halfback is Zach Fisher. And then tackler is Jack Still. That's why you're missing. Who are you missing there? You're missing your follower. That's probably where you're going to play Dacos there as a follower for 54. But if you want Dacos to go into that position, you need to put someone in the position to follow a Fennec. So that has to happen. So you need to put someone in that position for that to happen. And if you were to get your projections and put Dacos in its follower, then you will be projected to win this game. Next game, let's have a look at Punters Paddock versus Bombers Forever. It's 7th versus 10th, bottom of the table clash. They have had no one play as of yet in this one. So the pre-match projections for this one is 349 for Punters Paddock versus 401 for Bombers Forever. Not bad considering it was the lowest scoring team at the comp. Jamie Elliott had a pretty good game. 42 as a full forward, 43 as a half forward. So Coley missed out on that score then. He's actually had a pretty good season, so he hasn't wanted to play him yet. And Josh Dacos down in his average, it looks like 39 midfielder, 73 utility. And who was the other one? Lockie Shorts didn't play that great either. Over here, Cam Rayner, nothing to write home about on that one. So let's have a look at it. Punters Paddock do need to make a few changes because I'm pretty sure Dangerfield is going to be out for 2 weeks. So he might need to get changed there. Bailey Fritsch had a good game against Hawthorn last week, but he's playing against Port Adelaide's defence, so it might be a bit different. Taylor Walker, second game of the year, and Brett Daniels. Brett Daniels has got the bye, so I don't think he'll be playing that position this week. So obviously, Bombers Forever haven't looked at that team yet. Trelaw at utility against Tim English, both playing West Coast. Max Gorn always has struggles against Port Adelaide, against Todd Goldstein. Sinclair and Butters. Butters has been pretty good form so far this season, as has Harry Sheasel and Connor Rosie. So both those players have been pretty good for all three of those players. Newman at halfback against Tom Stewart, who had a smashing game last week. And then the tacklers, Atkins expected to be back from injury, and Tom Liberatore. An interchange for Punters Paddock is John Dawson, whereas Bombers Forever have decided not to choose an interchange player just yet. Options there. There's a few players playing tomorrow night. There's a couple of players playing early on Saturday. So we'll see what he goes with on that one. Um, hmm. He might even look at Jamari Hagan against the Bombers, or against the Eagles, should I say, but we'll see what he does. Next game we'll look at is Renegades versus Sugar Daddies. Once again, no one has played just yet. And Josh Dunkley was the interchange player. Josh Dunkley, if anything, you could possibly play him as a mid or a tackler, I suppose. Maybe a tackler. 35 as a tackler. Nothing else to write home about. And no other players played. Whereas over here, no players played as well. So Renegades pre-match projection 390. Sugar Daddy's pre-match projection 383. Marshall and Larky's are forwards. Larky's been a bit down this season, but he's looked like he improved a little bit last year. And Toby Green's got a bye, so he's definitely not playing. And Petrarca's a half forward, smashed it last week. Merritt Utility also had a great game last week, averaging 95 for the year. And Caleb Sarong averaging 109.5 for the year. Best utility so far after 3 rounds. David Taccone in the ruck. Sherry wasn't that great last week against Luke Jackson. Tacconi's probably a similar sort of mobile ruckman, so I'll be interested in there. And all they're actually up against each other. So there we go. LDU versus Tim Kelly. Bailey Dale as the other fella. Against the Wapito. Halfback Nick Martin. Wangani Malera got about 70 last week as a halfback. So who's he got? Essendon this week. Speaking of Essendon, he got Will Setterfield as a tackler. And Ruben Jimby as tackler over here, and then obviously Dunkley, what he's done there. So, do you put Dunkley in as tackler instead of Jimby? Could be a possibility. 35 is not too bad. And Nate Caddy could possibly play his first game of the year, although it looks like he was not selected, so I don't think he will. So you have to make another change, different person there. Who to put in? Well, it's up to you, really. You can choose who you want, but there's a few players playing. A couple of players playing tomorrow. More probably players playing on Saturday. Well, there you go. So don't forget the buys this week. GWS and Gold Coast both have the buys this week. So, yes. That might be why Fenwick doesn't have Rao or Tom Green. It's a pretty good side, I think. No, who's Fenwick got Rao? Who's got Rao? Can't remember who Fenwick's got. Fenwick's got May's injured. Tom Green. Took Miller. Took. That's the one. And then we got So next game, let's have a look at mine and Dasher's game. So Dasher is projected for 400. Fucking hell, where'd you get that from, Dash? But it's from 417. Gee, that's not good. Against me, who was projected for 348. Interesting. Well, I've already had a couple of players play this week. Jordan DeGoey, I stuffed up. Originally had Dane Zorko as half forward and DeGoey interchange. In the last minute, I changed it. Now, the difference would have been DeGoey got 25 there and really no good anywhere else, to be honest. So I would have left him on the bench and I would have taken Zorko's half forward for 32 points. So 7 points better off and had another option. So Zorko had a pretty good game. Unfortunately, I can't play him as a halfback because Harris Andrews only got 38, down by 39% on his actual score. So more than likely, I might take Don Zorko as a midfielder for 60 because I haven't had a midfield get over 50 this year. So Zorko would probably be my midfielder. And as we said, Harris Andrew, pretty bad game, 38. I think 7 or 8 1%. This is the reason why he got up there. And Tom Mitchell on his turn of the game was up by 65% on his average score, got 42 points as a tackler, which I'm very, very happy with. Bonus for me. But then over here, Pennerbury probably get nowhere. Probably not get a game this week. And looks like he might not get a game next week either after hitting Lockie Neal in the guts. Both of us had no one else play. So Papley up against who's Sydney play? Sydney play. I forget who does Sydney play, Mick. Sydney play the Tigers at the G. They played well at the G last time, so yeah, interesting. Sydney, and then William Drew at half forward against D's. I've got Charlie Curnow against North Melbourne. Kicked 6 goals in this game last year, but he's not so far. The first two games this year hasn't been as great. As we know, De Goey didn't have a great game. Heaney in at utility, average 100, and Blondin Pally against the Eagles. I'm hoping he gets about the same score, but mind you, I need to catch up by about quite a few points there, so I need to do better than that. Luke Jackson in the ruck against Riley O'Brien tomorrow. That is tomorrow, that game, tomorrow night. And Grundy against the Tigers. Houston in the mid and Duggan as follower against, well, Zorko's going to come in for 60 points as a midfielder, or I might take Zorko 54 as a follower. So one of those will be Zorko. And the other one, I need to make a decision. John Newcombe, I love him, but he's not playing as good. I might go with Max Holmes. I'm undecided who I'm going to play in that other position now. Harris Andrews down, as we know, and Luke Ryan. Adelaide, please do not let Luke Ryan do what you let Tom Stewart do last week, or else it is over for me. And as a tacklers, we've got Rory Laird and 42. I mean, Laird's averaging 50 as a tackler, so yeah, either way. And as we know what's happening there. So that's that game. Top Gun's projected to win. 417 is a pretty damn good score. I think the highest score projected score of the round. So why eighth, Dash? Anyway, next we got Gods Olympus versus Rangers Anonymous. Gods will be the ninth, Rangers Anonymous fourth. Hawkins playing his 350 game against the Hawks. Hey, Melly. 350 game against the Hawks. So hopefully he kicks nothing and Michael is disappointed and Widgeon twists all day. That will be absolutely fantastic. And Kasai Pickett played the Hawks last week and smashed it. Don't think he's going to do the same thing this week, but we'll see what happens. And then Errol Gordon at half forward against Cameron. Last year kicked 7 goals in the second half against the Hawks. So in this particular fixture, Rowan Marshall in at utility. Probably his best spot because he's not. Sometimes he's just not a good tap ruckman, and sometimes he's against turnover King Taranto. McInerney tonight got 35 against Riley O'Brien, and Lockie Neal got 67. Did hurt his ankle, but he managed to finish at the game. We've got 96 utility. If this is midfield, he had a pretty good game. So Lockie Neal got 67, so he was up by 43%. That's a pretty big score to be up 67. And then Matt Crouch and Jordan Clark. I would have thought, and then Jordan Clark and Matt Crouch. Michael's got Hayden Young as his interchange in that one for tomorrow night. Matt Crouch, I mean, they're both pretty good scores. And then Sicily, hopefully, has a massive game on Friday against Boston. Canelio's got the bye, so Ken, if you play Canelio, you probably won't win. But you did have Hugh McGuggage as an interchange. Hugh McGuggage, well, there you go. Follow off 54 points. So what's that? 71, 121 from his midfield alone by Kenner. That's pretty damn good. Average pre-match projection 378. Projected now for 398. Bringing McCluggage another 7, so projected for over 400. Where Michael's projected for 387 or 389 now because Big O was up by only 6%. Who else did they miss out on today? Hitwood didn't have a good game. The Pinsy didn't have a great game. And over here, Charlie Cameron, 23 as a half forward. No one else really. So that's it. Don't forget the games tomorrow. If we have a look at the rest of the games for the week, tomorrow at 4:20, it is North Melbourne versus the Kangaroos. Oh, sorry, North Melbourne are the Kangaroos. North versus the Blues. And then it's straight after that game, it's the Dockers versus the Crows. Saturday is Essendon versus St Kilda, and Port Adelaide versus the Demons. Sunday is the Eagles taking on the Dogs at Marvel Stadium, who they beat last year. And the Tigers against the Swans. And then, of course, it finishes on Monday with the Hawks versus the Cats. Because you all love it, I've already done the spelling for you, so you don't have to worry about it. For the game in Perth at 7 o'clock, it's going to be fine. For the game in Adelaide at night time, it's going to be fine. The other two games in between are at Marvel Stadium, so that's no issue there. Sunday is going to be cloudy. So that's Monday's weather for the Monday game. Around 1 or 3 o'clock is going to be sort of cloudy and doesn't look like it will rain, but it'll be okay. And then Sunday looks like it will be pretty good weather for the time the game's on. So that wouldn't be an issue there. And that, guys, thank you very much. Hope you have a fantastic Easter weekend. Easter is until May, as we all know. But anyway, good luck to everyone but Dash. Melly, say bye. Say bye. Sis, say bye. Oh, good girl. Oh, thanks. I'll wash my face now. Oh, again, Jesus. All right. See you all.